Hey, I was Amy. Welcome back to Called to Be Different, Reflecting Christ. I wanted to talk today about us being neighbors towards each other because, I've been going through some situations in the past couple years where I've just learned a lot about what the value of a true neighbor is. Somebody who really is a good person. Not somebody who claims to be a good person, but somebody who actually is a good person. Now, you know what? I've been dealing with some stuff in our house. Our house is an older house. We bought it from my family after my grandmother passed. I did not even want this house. This was like my husband's suggestion. Oh, we can buy this house. Great decision. We got a bunch of land with it. It seemed like a great idea. But we had to pay off this house before we could build a new house. So once we finally, killed ourselves to make as much money as we possibly could and pay off this house in ludicrous time, we were ready to build. We were ready to do all that. We cleared out an acre of land. We dumped so much money into getting ready for a build. And I found a contractor. I was talking to him. And, this was at the very end of 2019. And then 2020 hit. I called the bank. And I have a video. I'll link it down below. But I called the bank and I said, we're ready to build. We want to, what's the next step? And they informed me, literally the interest rates have jumped over 50% in one night. And because of COVID and because of everything that was going on. And we already knew the building materials were rising. But the fact that the interest rate just went through the roof, I just looked at my husband and we sat down and talked about it. And it was like, we're not doing this. This is insane. You were literally, I think the house we were looking to build, our plans with everything involved, it was close to $450,000. And with the interest rate jumping up and the building materials jumping up, we were going to literally buy a $500,000 home and probably spend over $1 million paying it off the rest of our life. And I said, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. I do bookkeeping for a living. I'm not doing this. This is nonsense. And so we backed out and we decided to look into getting this house fixed. So we got the seals under this house fixed and we started repairing it. We started tearing down walls. Now we're tearing down our kitchen. And we're trying to do it all as much as we possibly can by ourselves. But there has been some things that I have run into, such as electrical issues and plumbing issues. And I'm just going to say outright, I don't know what it is about a man named John, but if you know a man named John and he has a certain craft, he's probably a good guy, because I found a plumber who was named John, an electrician who was named John, and they have just been God sent to me because they have been truth, they have been honest, they have not tried to screw me over, they have just been let me do my trade, I'll get paid what I'm worth, I'll be real with you about what you're looking at, and I'm not going to screw you over. Now, I found our electrician because I had called a big conglomerate company, and they came out. They charged me $95 just to come look at my problem, and then they quoted me $6,000 to fix it. I don't know who the heck and Bob you think I am, but I live in a house built in 1963. I am not rich, so don't put that in your mouth. What is that? A piece of plastic? Where did that come from? Anyways, yes, don't do that. That's silly. Not a good idea. But anyways, so I literally about had a heart attack. I was like, yeah, I can't afford $6,000 for you to fix one cord. Now I needed this cord fixed because it tried to start a house fire. And so I looked around and I finally found this guy named John. He came out. He's an electrician. Ran the line. I didn't even ask him. I was thinking, oh God, I don't know. He told me 6,000 was ludicrous. That's what he said. So I thought 1,000, 2,000. Hey baby, that's what he's going to charge me, right? He literally comes down and tells me $250. He was here for an hour and a half. $250. He ran one line from one end all the way down chucked it out the side, put it in an electrical conduit, and hooked it up right. And I'm so thankful for John. John has been my electrician for the last 5 years, honestly, and he's amazing. And I recommend him to everyone. And I just ran into some plumbing issues. Sorry, Coda's like pulling on stuff. And man, I had an electrician or a plumber that I was using, and he said $1,000 to fix this. And I called my neighbor, and I said, Alex, I know that you know a plumber or somebody that does some kind of plumbing, because I remember you talking about this. And so he was like, oh yeah, he works at the fire station with me. His name's John. And I was like, his name's John. That's a good omen, right? So I called John. He comes out. He fixes my issue. Instead of $1,000, this gentleman charges me $100. It's just insane to me. If you can find somebody who's good at their dang trade, but is not going to be crappy human being, that is someone you need to keep around in your life. And I told John, just like I told my other John, you will get to know my house very well, because there's 2 things I don't mess with. That's plumbing and electricity. I just don't mess with them. I wish I understood them. And they've both been so grateful to teach me things and show me things. So that way, if I'm in a pinch or something, I can try and figure it out myself. But I would much rather give them the work. I would much rather pay somebody for their hard work. I say all that to say that we have lost what it means to be a neighbor to each other. We have lost that, and we have been more concerned with chasing a dollar. We have been more concerned with how much can I stuff in my pockets. And I don't even know how I used to go to sleep at night. Now, I didn't work in the same kind of industry dealing one-on-one, but I definitely had to price things and quote things. And some things I saw ridiculous. Some things I was like, wow, that is insanely priced. But it was not my call. And the person I was working for was money hungry, just like everybody else. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to have the nicest car, the nicest house. And, I think with us, when we were getting ready to build and we were thinking about everything, I just remember me and my husband talking about, we're going to have the nicest house, and we're not going to have any money to fill it. And I remember telling my contractor that, and he was like, oh, no, you can even get loans to fill your house. Just put it in there. And you can buy new refrigerators, new appliances, new this, new that. And man, boy, oh boy, am I so glad. There has been challenges in this house, but I don't think I'd ever want to go back to that life, ever. To chasing money and feeling so dissatisfied with my life. And not because my life was not good, but because I was focused on the wrong thing. And now, with Christ as King in my life, with Him as the center of my focus, of my day, of my everything, it has changed me immensely in so many ways, emotionally, physically, mentally. Just the way that I am, the way that I react, the way that I respond, it has just literally changed me. And that's what I think people are talking about when they say, I see Christ in you. But that's what we're called to imitate. And so anyways, I just wanted to come on here and talk about the fact that we have seen it's not dead. It's not dead. There are so many good people who are imitating Christ, even if they don't even mean to. They are just being genuinely good people. And I just challenge you to be that person. Because honestly, if you're somebody like John or John, and you come in here, you're going to make well over that money. Because I'm going to call you again and again and again. Where somebody that's going to come and one time screw me over, I'm never going to call you again. I'm never going to let you step foot in my house. And honestly, I'm just going to feel disgust towards you. And I don't want to feel like that. God, I don't want to feel like that. Anyways, Coda's ready to drink some milk. You want some milk? Yeah. So, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.